Now on CoastTV News.
Excessive heat warnings from most of Delmarva as the intense heat continues. It is a yellow alert for the heat, then a red alert Wednesday for heat and possible severe weather. I'll break down the heat and storm threat coming up.
Relief from the heat, that's what those people on your screen and others are attempting to do. We break down this hot stretch of summer weather hitting us.
Milford policy table. That was the call out of Board of Education meeting just last night as we learn more about the reason officials there were pushing for action opposed by the ACLU.
Murray in Milwaukee, the role the Delaware Party chair has at the Republican National Convention.
This is CoastTV News Today.
It is Tuesday, July 16th, 2024. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Paige Marley. Thanks for being up with us during our 5 o'clock hour.
And we like to comment, maybe complain about the heat, but I do have to remind myself, Paige, it is in the middle of July, and in all my 30-some years on this earth, it has always been hot in the middle of July.
Yeah, no one's keeping track.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. But we are keeping track of the weather. So we will bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Tri-Heat right now. Bob, yeah, it's definitely a hot one out there.
A hot one. It's a hot stretch of weather, guys. Good morning. Good morning, Delmarva. We do have an excessive heat warning in effect for the areas shaded in purple. Essentially all of Sussex County, excluding the coast. This goes until tomorrow evening, until 8 o'clock. And then heat advisory right along the coast until tomorrow evening. And then across areas of Maryland, it's a heat advisory around Salisbury, Oakville, Best Pitch, and then farther to the north across the rest of the eastern shore, it's an excessive heat warning. So the bottom line is it's just going to be intensely hot both today and tomorrow. Already temperatures in the 70s to right around 80 in Millsboro and Georgetown, 82 right now on the beach at Bethany Beach, 83 in Rehoboth. Not much relief from the wind, the southwest wind bringing in all that heat and humidity. And we're looking at mostly clear skies right now, so it's going to be sunshine and a quick warm up. And look at this, by mid-morning we're already into the upper 80s. By noon, mid-90s inland, 80s and 90s along the coast, and then really cooking as we go into the afternoon with mid to upper 90s inland areas, slightly cooler at the beaches, but scorching heat, and that feels like temperature inland areas around 105 to 110, and even along the immediate coast, some places could be looking at triple-digit heat. But there is relief on the way in the form of showers and storms later Wednesday, and then a cool down after that. Much more on your forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Following up on what Bob was just talking about, more than 100 million people are under heat alerts across the U.S. The Weather Prediction Center forecasts near record temperatures and high humidity for parts of the east today. In Baltimore, feels like temperatures that could reach up to 112 degrees. Houston could see triple-digit heat indices on Monday, and many people there have been without air conditioning for nearly a week.
Of course, with all that heat, people tend to flock to the beach, all in an effort to stay cool. That includes, of course, there in Ocean City. It's not all fun and sun for first responders. Of course, they have to work through that heat. The sergeant of the Ocean City Beach Patrol supplies all the Ocean City lifeguards with water, making sure that they're hydrated so they can do their job more effectively, something especially important in the middle of a heat wave.
We have had some heat-related emergencies, and usually that is because of lack of hydration. So, you know, when you're coming to the beach, you want to make sure that you're hydrated before you get to the beach, and while you're here.
And that heat wave is expected to last until Wednesday, when the weather will hopefully cool down just a little bit.
And if you're just joining us right now, our focus at the start of this broadcast is the potential of all of us experiencing the hottest day on the calendar year. So we wanted to know about some of the hottest days ever recorded for our area. What we did is we went to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Here's what we found out. Almost a year to the date, we're talking July 21st, 1930, Millsboro experienced a 110-degree day. That is the Delaware state record. That same day, the record for Salisbury was set at 106 degrees. Hottest day ever in Lewis, 102, on June 21st, 1997.
And of course, with scorching temps, it's important to take care of yourself. So just be sure you drink plenty of water throughout the day. Stay out of the sun, seek air conditioning, or visit cooling centers. Also very important, check on your relatives and your neighbors, especially if they're older, and be sure not to leave children and pets unattended in your car.
New this morning, got a development in the case of Tyler Mayu. You remember that is the 23-year-old man allegedly involved in a hit-and-run that killed Worcester County teen Gavin Knupp in 2022. On Monday, Mayu and prosecutors were in Worcester County Circuit Court. This comes after the Maryland Supreme Court upheld an order by the appellate courts in June, and that order stated that the case must be tried in Worcester County Circuit. The case was originally dismissed after a judge stated it should be tried in district court.
A controversial policy at the Milford School District has been tabled indefinitely after a meeting Monday night. According to the school board, policy 6103, it's aimed to keep classrooms free of things that could create an offensive, hostile, or intimidating learning environment. But the ACLU Delaware, along with the grand majority of people who spoke at that meeting, say that that violates the First Amendment right of students and staff. Board member Dr. Adam Brownstein said the plan does not censor speech. The ACLU was concerned, at least in part, with vague language and how rules could be interpreted differently by different administrations. And here's another take on that.
In this country, we enjoy freedom of speech, but with that freedom comes responsibility. And in today's environment and social media, people are posting things that a person with common sense and maturity would say, this doesn't need to be shared publicly.
Now, the genesis of all of this, as we learned from Dr. Brownstein, was an incident involving a Jewish student in the aftermath of the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel. A perceived pro-Palestinian image was shown somewhere, and that in part started all of this dialogue.
Happening today, finance, a focal point in Lewis. Officials there will get together to talk about existing money sources and even future ones. Also on the Finance Committee agenda, a review of city investments and the fiscal year budget. Happening
today, the resumption of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. It was yesterday Donald Trump became the party's nominee. Also yesterday, some Sussex County representation, Julianne Murray, offering the rules resolution. Murray, who lives in Seaford, is the Delaware Republican Party chair. She also was the person who pledged all the state's 16 delegates for Donald Trump.
The attempted assassination of former President Trump has people on Delmarva calling for unity now. People gathered for a prayer vigil at the Veterans Memorial in Ocean Pines on Monday. Some who we spoke with on Delmarva fear the current events might worsen the country's political divide.
Doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican. We need to get this country back to the Judeo-Christian values that it was built on.
Seeing how things have been over the past 4 or 5 years, I don't believe this is going to change the great, vast political divide that we're living in right now.
Organizers wanted the vigil to show this weekend's events can bring our nation closer together.
And of course, it is official. Delegates have weighed in, and like we said, former President Trump, now the GOP nominee for president once again. This happened during the first day of the Republican National Convention there in Milwaukee.
The day kicked off with the announcement that Ohio Senator J.D. Vance will be Trump's running mate. NBC's Bree Jackson shows us how President Biden and fellow Americans are responding to having a full picture of the ballot come November.
J.D.
Ohio Senator J.D. Vance receiving a warm welcome at the Republican National Convention after being named former President Trump's 2024 running mate. The 39-year-old says he brings loyalty to the ticket.
The president can't be everywhere. Even Donald Trump can't be everywhere. So you've got to be a person he can trust, he can rely on to actually advance the agenda.
The first-term senator was a Trump critic in 2016, but since then he's changed his position and has been by the former president's side for court cases and campaign events. Vance's addition to the Republican ticket comes just 2 days after a gunman fired at Trump, injuring his ear.
My first reaction was just to pray for him. I was terrified.
Former President Trump surprising the crowds at the convention and making his first public appearance since the assassination attempt. On the same day Trump officially secured the GOP nomination, President Biden sat down with NBC's Lester Holt, calling it a mistake to have used the term bullseye when discussing his political opponent.
I mean, focus on him. Focus on what he's doing. Focus on his policies.
President Biden also weighing in on Trump's VP pick.
I'm cloning Trump on the issue, so I don't see any difference.
All people have got to go! Protesters outside the Republican National Convention are speaking out against the GOP's agenda. Americans remain divided over issues like abortion and the country's future. With Vance's name added to the GOP ticket, voters now have a clearer picture of their choices this November. In Milwaukee, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
And still a lot more news to get to this morning on Coast TV News Today.
And coming up, bombs on the beach washed up World War II explosives, sparking up a conversation about safety at Assateague Island. We'll show you why the park superintendent there takes precaution, even though he says the risk is low.
Also ahead, cozy up at cooling centers. That's what you may want to do as high heat hits Delmarva. We're going to tell you how to find the closest locations in your area.
And rent recommendation, the plans to put a federal cap on rent prices that would need to be approved first by Congress. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
What do you do when your tire goes flat and there's no air anywhere? You reach for Bullseye Pro, the smarter, faster, hands-free way to fill it up with air. Bullseye Pro is equipped with a rechargeable lithium-ion power plant. So fast and so convenient. It's like the power of an air compressor in the palm of your hand. Look, you can inflate all 4 tires on a single charge. It has a built-in smart pressure digital sensor that gauges and automatically stops when the set tire pressure is reached. Easily inflate pool toys, exercise balls, and more. Call or go online now and get the complete Bullseye Pro inflation system for the factory direct price of just $79.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free, and we'll give you a 50% discount on a second one. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-771-0865. That's 1-800-771-0865 or go to getbullseyepro.com.
This is Dean Bennett of Bennett Termite and Pest Solutions. People ask me, how did bed bugs get into my home? Bed bugs can hitch a ride in your luggage or on your clothes. They can even be hidden in a piece of used furniture that you bring into your home. When you've seen one, it's already too late and the damage has begun. However they got there, we can eliminate them with our green and effective heat and treat system.
Remember, Delmarva, quality isn't expensive, it's priceless.
Is your garage door in need of an upgrade or a repair? Then Clark & Sons Garage Doors can help. We believe your garage door should be more than just functional. It should be a reflection of your personality and style. With over 60 years serving the entire Delmarva Peninsula, Clark & Sons delivers quality craftsmanship and exceptional service every time. We provide free estimates on new garage doors. Plus, we offer comprehensive maintenance services to ensure your garage door stays in perfect working condition. So call today and discover why Clark & Sons is the name you can trust.
Just about 5:13 on our very warm Tuesday morning. Bay Health Cam, Dover already 82, dew points in the mid-70s. Look at this, already lower 80 Seaford, back to Millsboro, 81 in Bethany Beach, 82 in Rehoboth. I don't think you guys drop below 80. And then elsewhere into the upper 70s, already feeling like mid to upper 80s in some places as we're getting ready for maybe the hottest day of the year. There's a bit of a breeze out there, and we're looking at mostly clear skies, so we're looking at a lot of sunshine today. Just that scorching heat. I would say it's almost too hot for golf, but if you are venturing out there, use extra caution. Make sure you have a lot of water with you. Very hot, a high of 98 later, but feels like temperatures may be as high as 111 as we go into the afternoon.
This morning, Delaware State Police will continue efforts in searching for a Milton man who they say shot a driver in the back. Police say the driver ran into a pole Sunday night on Cool Spring Road after being shot from another car. And that 27-year-old driver from Laurel, now in critical condition. Detectives say there is a warrant for the arrest of 24-year-old Tamaris Perry. The early investigation into this shows the victim was driving on West Springside Drive when it is believed Perry fired several shots. We have developing news about a Lewis development. This has the attention of the Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission. The project is called North Star, and it is planned for between Route 9 and both sides of Beaver Dam Road. To give you an idea where this is, it's across where the Vineyards apartment complex is. You can see that area right there on your screen, and according to the proposal, the project calls for over 750 single-family homes, about 96,000 square feet for commercial use, and it will be reviewed at Wednesday's meeting.
President Biden is working now to set federal cap on rent prices. He's expected to unveil the details in Nevada today, a state that's seen one of the biggest increases in housing costs nationwide. Biden's plan would eliminate a tax benefit for landlords who increase their tenants' rent more than 5% a year. Biden's plan would need to be approved by Congress before it goes into effect. British luxury brand Burberry hoping a new CEO will help fix its slumping sales. In earnings release on Monday, Burberry said it will replace its chief executive. This comes after another disappointing quarter in which sales dropped more than 20%. Retail analysts point to a combination of softer demand for luxury goods and the brand's direction as the reason for those struggling sales. Still ahead this morning, cozy up at a cooling center. Many people on Delmarva will be using the convenient resources today as those temperatures rise. And we're going to tell you why one local says the environment offers a learning opportunity.
And a very warm and muggy start out there, 82 in Salisbury. The intense heat continues today with an excessive heat warning for most of Delmarva. Yellow alert for the heat, red alert Wednesday for heat and storms. I'll have your forecast details in 2 minutes.
Delmarva's Classic Rock, Big 107.7.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Legzercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Legzercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Legzercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
Come out on Saturday, July 20th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Shops at Salisbury for the Wheels That Heal Cruise In for a Cause, benefiting Salisbury Police Department's National Night Out. All vehicles and motorcycles are welcome. Enjoy great music, delicious food, and exciting activities like a 50-50 raffle and a silent auction. Backpack donations and other back-to-school items are appreciated to support this wonderful cause. Coast Country Cares, sponsored by Spicer Brothers.
Got a plumbing problem that can't wait? Then why would you? At FH Fur, we know how frustrating it is to be stuck waiting for help, which is why we offer same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's a leaky faucet, a clogged drain, a broken pipe, you name it, the expert plumbers at FH Fur are standing by and ready to get you out of hot water. Or maybe into some hot water, if that's your issue. Same-day service guaranteed, regardless of your plumbing predicament.
877-CALL-FUR, FHFur.com.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
Time is 5:18, and we are going to show you a live look at Ocean City on this Tuesday morning, getting ready for the day. We have yellow alert conditions today, and Bob, well, you've been tracking a few alerts this week.
Yeah, yellow alert today for the heat, Matt, and then red alert for the heat and storm potential moving into Wednesday. Usually we reserve the yellow alert for just rain and wind and that kind of bad weather, but now we're adding it for the heat today. Excessive heat warning for this area, shaded in this purple color, inland Sussex County. Along the coast, we do have a heat advisory for you, and that goes until tomorrow evening, where we're looking at feels like temperatures maybe as hot as 100 there. Heat advisory across Salisbury into Maryland, close to the shore, but excluding the coast there. And then for the eastern shore, you have an excessive heat warning, and that goes until tomorrow evening. Already pretty warm out there, 80 in Millsboro and Georgetown, 81 in Bethany Beach, 79 Indian River Inlet, already feeling like upper 80s in Millsboro. It feels like 85 in Seaford and 88 in Bethany Beach. as we do have a southwest breeze. It's pretty light right now, and that will just be pumping in that heat and humidity all day as we have mainly clear skies across Delmarva right now. So we're setting up for a very sunny, hot day. There is a trough back to our north and west. We've got storminess across the Midwest, especially through Illinois and Indiana, and that will start to edge our way and could start to increase the storm threat maybe later this evening, but especially for tomorrow as cooler weather follows that front into tomorrow evening. Here's Futurecast this morning. Look how quickly temperatures warm up. By mid-morning, we're in the upper 80s in Millsboro and Seaford, and even into the 80s and 90s at the beaches by noon. 93 in Rehoboth, 95 in Lewis, and then mid-90s inland. Then we really start to cook this afternoon, around 96 to maybe as high as 99 in some places, and even 80s and 90s at the coast. And if you're out and about this evening, still very hot, 90s, and then eventually 80s, and then even lower 80s tomorrow morning. Another hot day for Wednesday with highs into the mid-90s. Then we start to see storms moving in tomorrow evening, essentially ending the heat wave, but some of these showers and storms will pack a punch with heavy rain and gusty winds, and that will continue through the evening hours, so keep that in mind. And then some of those showers and storms could linger on into your Thursday morning as well, but it will be a little cooler heading into Thursday. Feels like temperatures today about 105 to 110 away from the coast, and tomorrow, look at this, maybe as hot as 113 inland and even triple-digit feels like temperatures along the coast. And we do have a level 1 and a level 2 risk of seeing severe weather across Delmarva. This yellow area shaded across areas of Delaware and Eastern Shore, maybe damaging winds for you, but a lower chance of seeing severe weather farther to the south. Here's your Paul Davis 7-day forecast. Yellow alert today, 98 degrees. A red alert for Wednesday for heat and storms, 95. And then heading into Thursday and Friday and the weekend, much cooler, mid-80s. Storms Thursday, dry Friday. Right now we're thinking mostly cloudy Saturday, but a better chance of storms on Sunday, and those linger into Monday as well. Our umbrella winner is Pam Bignier from Lewis. Congratulations, Pam. You have a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
As Bob just explained today, it is going to be extremely hot, and it is imperative you stay cool, and one way to stay safe in Sussex County is by utilizing cooling centers. Libraries and offices are welcoming people in from the brutal heat. There are 4 cooling stations in Sussex County, each one providing air conditioning and free water bottles. People trying to beat the heat at the Georgetown Library say, well, this is an educational opportunity as well as a chance for time out of the sun.
I think it's wonderful that the libraries are serving as cooling stations, one, to provide that cooling service to the public, but also to get people back into the libraries. You know, so many people are focused on getting their books through private sources. I think it's wonderful to get people, especially kids, back into libraries and really appreciating all that a library has to offer.
Complete list of cooling stations and other tips to stay safe are on our website, coasttvnews.com.
Coming up on Coast TV News today, bombs on the beach. What the park superintendent says about maintaining safety around washed up World War II material, even though the risks there are low. We'll be right back.
Well, we had old concrete, so we wanted to have a cohesive space that we could use outside and that we would be proud of. We truly enjoy it. It was kind of a no-brainer for us. It was beautiful. He showed us all the samples. We held them up to the light. It was wonderful. I mean, it was seamless. And everybody was so nice. Why we went with this instead of just painting it or whatever, it is the lifetime warranty. Anybody that asks or sees it, I always tell them it's Pinnacle, and I definitely would recommend them.
Watch for the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep.
Intruders are more likely to target homes with dark zones. Take the bullseye off your house and turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a high-tech security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. During the day, it's disguised as a high-tech security camera. It's completely wireless and installs in just seconds. Powered by solar panels, no batteries needed. It adjusts a full 360 degrees. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. But wait, we can also include a second one. Just pay a separate fee. Plus, we'll give you free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-316-1548 or go online to buybionic360.com. So call 1-800-316-1548 or go to buybionic360.com.
Back pain? Trouble sleeping? Slowing down? Reduce stress by 22% with hydrotherapy, lessening pain and improving sleep. At Delaware Hot Tub Company, we have saltwater hot tubs to give you these relaxing health benefits. A simpler, cleaner way to relax using fewer chemicals and easier to maintain too. Why stress when you can relax? Hot tubs, hotter prices at Delaware Hot Tub Company in Millsboro and Lewis. Ask about 0% financing.
And it's been 15 plus years we've been coming with Avery Hall. Now they're right up the street. Any of the products that give you that peace and sense of mind in the community where you live, Avery Hall, I think, can take care of their needs. You don't always realize what impact long-term your needs are going to be for your health. With Avery Hall, it's been a fabulous resource for that.
Avery Hall found an insurance company that could help us.
I think more of a steady, strong relationship.
Download the DSN app today, driven by Preston Automotive Group.
A bit of history has been washing ashore the beaches of Assateague lately. In recent weeks, folks have been finding World War II ordnance fragments, which are remnants of unexploded bombs and missiles right there in the sand. So we're going to show you what that looks like. It's the Dover Bomb Squad exploding one of those old explosives. It's all part of a procedure the park staff takes each time someone finds one of those potentially unexploded bombs. Park Superintendent Hugh Hawthorne says that though the risk is very low, they of course have to take extreme precaution.
There's a potential danger. It's not a high danger. It's 99% sure that they're not dangerous at all, but 99% is not 100%. And when we deal with what we call UXOs, unexploded ordnances, we have to be 100% sure before we treat it as something other than a UXO.
Assateague was once used by the U.S. Navy as a missile testing site from 1945 to the early 1950s. Some scrap that's buried in pits is what's been washing ashore.
We are joined again by First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey, and I think with today's temperatures, we could be looking at another packed day at our beaches.
Yeah, in fact, guys, you know, there's just a little bit of relief at the beaches. It's going to be hot there as well, with feels like temperatures well into the 90s. Fenwick Island and Ocean City, you're in the 80s already this morning, and then in the mid to upper 80s as we go into the afternoon. Lots of sunshine, very hot, maybe a slight sea breeze. Lewis and Rehoboth, you're warming well into the 90s. I think mid-90s should do it a little bit later on today. And on the Bayside, Cambridge, you're very hot into the mid-90s, but feeling like triple digits there, at lower 90s for Crisfield as well as the intense heat rolls on into tomorrow. Then a cold front brings storms tomorrow night and then cooler weather after that. Much more in your forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Bob, thank you so much. Also coming up after the break on Coast TV News today, the attempted assassination update. We have new details about the shooter after investigators combed through his phone and spoke with those closest to him.
Also, we recap the interview with President Biden Monday night, including what he says about confidence in his campaign in the Secret Service.
And high heat on Delmarva, how to find the closest cooling places and what to do to keep you and your loved ones safe during a heat wave. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Your Space Storage at Bayside, proudly serving the beach with a unique redesigned storage experience. Enjoy our fully enclosed loading area, 24/7 access, climate-controlled units, and a revolutionary self-serve kiosk where you can check in and load in anytime, day or night. Visit us at storeatbayside.com to get your first full month free and lock in your rate for 1 full year with our Your Price Guarantee. Your Space Storage, conveniently located just 2.5 miles from the Fenwick Harris Teeter.
Elevate your business and engage more customers with Draper Media. Our diverse network of media properties such as WBOC, Coast TV, 93.5 The Beach, and 102.5 WBOC reaches over 500,000 Delmarva residents across various channels like television, radio, social media, and digital platforms. Enhance your brand's visibility across the Delmarva region with Draper Media. Our passionate team of media specialists and content creators are dedicated to showcasing your brand through engaging commercials, dynamic drone footage, eye-catching graphic and web design, and social media branding. Share your brand story on our popular programs, capturing the attention of your target audience. Trust your brand with Draper Media, a family-oriented company serving the Delmarva community. Contact Frank Hamilton today at fhamilton@wboc.com to get started.
Researching a new HVAC system or water heater can be like buying a car. Let Chesapeake Home Services take the guesswork out of your homework. Test drive a new system, and if you're not completely satisfied for any reason and we can't fix it, we'll buy it back. Plus, we'll include our bumper-to-bumper warranty, 10-year parts, 10-year labor, and a 10-year maintenance plan. To learn more, call us or visit us at ChesapeakeHomeservices.com.
Service sure to make you smile. They always go the extra mile.
Now on Coast TV News.
Excessive heat warnings for most of Delmarva as the intense heat continues. A yellow alert for the heat, then a red alert Wednesday for heat and possible severe weather. I'll break down the heat and storm threat coming up.
Feel that heat. Following up from Bob, we break down this hot and humid stretch we are experiencing this week.
I feel safe with the Secret Service, but look, and you saw what we did see was the Secret Service who responded risked their lives in responding.
Now, that was President Biden during last night's interview with Lester Holt. We have more on that and the future of his candidacy.
Cash for the Chesapeake, where a new round of money is being targeted in the effort to improve the Bay's watershed.
This is Coast TV News Today.
July 16th, 2024. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pence. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Paige Marley.
Time is 5:31. We are working on another hot day. It might be what you would expect for the middle of summer. It doesn't change the fact that it can be quite uncomfortable.
Yes, it is that time of year, so we're all going to hang out there together. We're going to stick to it and look out for your elder neighbors and family members, of course, very important there. But we are bringing in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey now. He's going to help you prepare, figure out how hot it will be today. So, Bob, what do you have for us?
Yeah, you know, we really do have to use extra caution in the heat today, guys. This could be the hottest day of the year. We have excessive heat warnings for much of inland Sussex County. This goes right in through until tomorrow. Heat advisory, even along the coast, you could be seeing triple-digit heat values there. Heat advisory across much of Maryland, including Salisbury, excluding the immediate coast around Ocean Pines, and then an excessive heat warning for the eastern shore. So very hot as we go through the rest of today, and a very warm start to the day with 70s and lower 80s right now. 80 in Millsboro, 80 in Seaford, 81 in Lewis, Bethany Beach at 81, and there is a southwesterly breeze. That's going to be a hot breeze all day long as we're looking at clear skies and that very hot air mass continues to build in. This morning on Futurecast, we're in the low 80s, but look how quickly we warm up. Mid-morning into the upper 80s already, mid-90s by noon from Delmar to Millsboro to Milton, even Lewis, and Bethany Beach 89. And even along the beaches, I think this afternoon, you're getting into the 90s, around 92 in Bethany Beach, 86 in Dewey Beach, and then mid to upper 90s as we go into the inland areas. And then very hot this evening. If you're out and about this evening, temperatures still stifling in the 90s, 80s at the beaches, and feels like temperatures 105 to about 110 inland. And even along the coast, you could be looking at some of those triple-digit heat values. UV index today brought to us by Ocean City. It's a 10, very high. So it's the sun and the heat we have to watch out for the next several days. Very high in the UV range, with the exception of Saturday, as we have a better chance of clouds at that time.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. Now, as Bob just mentioned, it's going to be hot, so maybe you want to get to the beach today, but you got to be careful if you're going. For some people, keeping everyone safe once they get there, it is a full-time job.
Yeah, Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us how first responders battle very high temps.
People along the beach make sure to stay cool during another hot day in Ocean City. And Brett Weingard, the sergeant of the Ocean City Beach Patrol, says no one has had a heat stroke yet, but it's been a problem.
We have had some heat-related emergencies, and usually that is because of lack of hydration. So, you know, when you're coming to the beach, you want to make sure that you're hydrated before you get to the beach, you know, and while you're here.
Weingard supplies all of the Ocean City lifeguards with water to make sure they're hydrated and watching the beach closely. But these lifeguards aren't the only people keeping locals and vacationers safe in this heat. The Ocean City Fire Department is too. Firefighters have to throw on their already heavy gear and deal with emergencies that can be extremely hot. So the Ocean City Fire Department has created a mechanism to cool them down after a call. They have a fan that supplies mist to the firefighters while they sit in a cooling chair, which allows them to put their arms in ice to cool them down fast.
We also use that for the public. If folks on the beach, if we get a large number of patients that are experiencing heat exhaustion or heat stroke, we can help cool them down with the cooling chairs. We have enough of them, and even our misting fans as well.
The heat wave is expected to last until Wednesday, where the weather is looking to hopefully cool down. I'm Kevin Zepay in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Now, if you haven't heard, we could be experiencing one of the hottest days of the calendar year. So we wanted to know some more about the hottest days on record ever for our area. So to do this, we went to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Here's some of what we found. So almost a year to the day, July 21st, 1930, Millsboro had a 110-degree day. That is the Delaware state record. Then that same day, the record for Salisbury, that was set at 106 degrees. The hottest ever in Lewis, that was 102 degrees, and that was on June 21st back in 1997.
And with the scorching temps, it is important to take care of yourself. Some of these may seem basic, but a reminder can be helpful. Make sure to drink plenty of water, stay out of the sun, and seek air conditioning or visiting cooling centers. It's also important to check in on relatives and neighbors. Be sure not to leave children and pets in unattended cars.
Do you fish striped bass? I'm sure many of you do. A reminder from the Maryland Department of Natural Resources now, striped bass fishing not allowed in the Chesapeake Bay from July 16th through July 31st. The department says this is necessary to protect the species because when water and air temperatures rise in the hottest parts of summer, those fish are more vulnerable to dying after being caught and released.
This morning we have a development in the case of Tyler Mailloux. You remember that is the man accused of a hit and run that killed Worcester County teen Gavin Knupp in 2022. On Monday, Mailloux and prosecutors gathered for a hearing in the Worcester County Circuit Court. This comes after the Maryland Supreme Court upheld an order by the appellate courts in June, and that order stated that the case must be tried back in Worcester County Circuit. That case was originally dismissed after a judge stated it should be tried in district court.
Quick note for you happening today. Finance will be up front and center in Lewis. Officials there will be talking about existing money sources and even future ones. Also on their agenda, a review of city investments and the fiscal year budget.
In case you missed it, Monday night on Coast TV, President Joe Biden sat down with Lester Holt for a one-on-one, unedited interview. The president defended his decision to remain in the race. The interview touched on a range of subjects from his confidence in the Secret Service to the dismissal of charges against former President Trump in his classified documents case.
I'm not surprised. It comes from the immunity decision the Supreme Court ruled on, and Clarence Thomas in his dissent said that independent prosecutors appointed by the Attorney General aren't legit. That's the basis on which this judge moved to dismiss. I feel safe with the Secret Service, but look, and you saw what we did see was the Secret Service who responded risked their lives in responding.
Biden's interview is the latest in a series of events, rallies, and interviews he has done since his debate with former President Trump on June 27th.
Now, it's still unclear why a gunman opened fire at former President Donald Trump's rally Saturday, but we do have more information now about that shooting.
One victim and the shooter are dead as a result of it. 2 people stable after sustaining serious injuries. And Trump, he's got that wounded ear. Amy Kiley shows us what people close to the shooter have revealed, and we have some new details about the failure of the Secret Service.
In high school, he was never the type that I would have to worry about.
New details are emerging about the suspect in the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. Law enforcement sources say investigators haven't found evidence suggesting a political or ideological motive. That's despite breaking into the suspect's phone, searching his room, and interviewing people who knew him.
I was shocked because knowing that he lived so close to me, that he did something like that, it's shocking.
Meanwhile,
we're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people.
The Secret Service director says local police were in the building when the suspect fired from its roof. A source with knowledge of the matter says they were snipers. The Fraternal Order of Police president calls officers at the event heroes. He blames, quote, the management or command level for Trump getting shot in the ear.
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again.
Former White House physician Ronnie Jackson says he examined Trump and thinks he can heal without surgery. Eric Trump describes learning his father was otherwise okay.
He cracked a little joke, and I knew, the Donald Trump I know, the father I know is back.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Still coming up this morning, a town council campaign. We're telling you how long you have left to apply for town council in Bethany Beach and when locals will vote on those candidates.
Also, Summer League sizzles the key games in the final of this high school hoop exhibition.
And Bucks for the Bay. We're telling you the new funding coming to the Chesapeake Bay and what environmental projects there will be focusing on. So stick with us on Coast TV News Today.
Today at 4 on Coast Life, learn how you can protect our environment and agriculture from the invasive spotted lanternfly. Plus, tips to handle summer eye emergencies. And don't miss our great debate. Today at 4 on Coast TV.
This is like our forever home. This was the last piece of the puzzle. Pinnacle concrete coating actually showed me this particular floor here, which is tidal wave. I was told, I'm done. I'm good. Just let's start. When it was done, I probably sat out there for 20 minutes and just staring at the product before I went back into the house. This is not a garage, this is an extension of my home. I'm just thrilled to death with this floor. We get a discount for being a veteran. It made you real warm and fuzzy knowing that you're dealing with somebody like that. I'm just impressed with what they did. It was awesome.
In one lane. That's how Bennett Termite has always rolled. Termites, pest control, bed bugs, and crawl space encapsulations. Because pest control and crawl spaces go together, as that's where we spend most of our time. By eliminating moisture, we eliminate pests. So, there's still one lane. Point is, we've remained the same, striving for excellence in all. You add phenomenal customer service to that, and well, quality isn't expensive, it's priceless.
Take the DSN app with you wherever you go and never miss a game from your favorite local team. Whether you're on the road, stuck at the office, or out with friends and family, the DSN app notifies you when your team is on live, so you can watch the game as it happens or watch videos on demand. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV, download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
Hey moms, you know those unforgettable face palms? Those moments that leave us both laughing and sighing. They're not just mishaps, there are shared stories. Share your unique mom moments with us. Go to coastlife.com/mom.
5:42 on this warm and muggy Tuesday morning. Dry Tech Cam, Ocean City. We're close to 80 degrees, and we're looking at very muggy conditions. 80 Indian River Inlet, 80 in Seaford already, in Georgetown, 80 degrees. And those feels like temperatures already this time of day into the mid to upper 80s in a lot of places. So gear up for maybe the hottest day of the year as we have a light breeze, but we have clear skies, so it's going to be blazing sunshine pretty much all day long. So if you're on the golf course, wherever outside, use extra caution. Stay in air conditioning if you can. Can it be too hot for golf? It could be one of those days. Yeah, 98, but feeling like 111 at times. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone for your latest forecast. The number is 443-880-9100. It's sponsored by the law offices of Bearman, Dallas, Brockstead, and Federico.
Bob, thank you so much. Fenwick Town Council recently voted to approve the fiscal year 2025 budget. Town saying no property tax increases in this plan. The budget projects $2.35 million of general cash reserves to be on hand as of July 31st, 2025. The single largest use of cash in this budget, $2.1 million for the upcoming dredging project.
In Maryland, a new round of taxpayer money headed toward the Chesapeake Bay. The Maryland Department of Natural Resources is awarding $35.8 million from the Chesapeake and Atlantic Coastal Bays Trust Fund to 34 ecological restoration projects. The state says the projects were selected to improve water quality and habitat in the Chesapeake Bay watershed, while also building local resilience to climate impacts.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
We are 1 week away from postseason basketball returning to the peninsula over in Worcester County. The Maryland Supreme Summer League rolled on last night with squads aiming for a postseason berth. It's the Cats from Delmar and the Hilltoppers from Snow Hill delivering a classic. Fast forward to 2 minutes left. Cats down 1, but that won't last long. Dustin Peterson splashes one in from the corner. That puts the Cats back out in front. 1:15 to go. 38-36 Cats. Hilltoppers working on the outside. They get it to Fox Birch, who buries the jumper, all tied at 38. 40 ticks left. Cats inbounding, and they make Peterson play receiver. They throw it up to him, and he gets the job done. Cats up 2. Last chance for Snow Hill. Seconds winding down. Jaden Bolware drives to his right. The floater front rims off right to Birch. Hauls in the board and gets fouled. He's got a chance to tie it up at the line with 2.7 seconds to go. First shot for Birch. No problem. It's now a 1-point game again. Here comes shot number 2 to tie the game. Back rims off, chance for a rebound, but no, there was a lane violation. It wouldn't have mattered. The Cats go on to win it 40-39. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day, everyone.
Some entertainment news now. We have plenty of movie news today, so here's David Daniel with your Hollywood Minute.
It was challenging and it was unlike anything I worked on.
Timothy Chalamet is taking on a new challenge, ping pong. He's set to star in and produce Marty Supreme, a fictionalized take on a real pro ping pong player known as the Wizard of Table Tennis. The Dune and Wonka star recently finished filming A Complete Unknown, in which he stars as Bob Dylan. No word when that film will reach theaters.
You can't really show your acting in that. You have to be as invisible as possible.
Jessica Chastain will be very visible this winter. The Oscar-winning actress is this year's recipient of the American Cinematheque Award. She'll be honored at a gala in Beverly Hills on December 6th.
We woke up one morning and Europe was at war.
Only non-military access for women.
I just want to do my part. Why should the men get to decide what that is? I'm heading to the front. Ready to go?
The first full trailer is out for Lee, starring Kate Winslet as iconic war correspondent and photographer Lee Miller. The drama, a longtime passion project for Winslet, is due in U.S. theaters September 27th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A mild and warm start already in Salisbury, 79. We're headed into the 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. With an excessive heat warning, the intense heat continues as we go through the day and into tomorrow. Yellow alert for today for the heat. Red alert Wednesday for heat and storms. Your forecast details coming up in 2 minutes.
Delmarva's Classic Rock, Big 107.7.
When you're close to the land and the sea, you can taste the goodness. The historic Lewis Farmers Market brings farms closer to tables. Meet the growers, talk to the people that milk the cows, and pick the perfect peaches. Organically grown fruits and vegetables, sustainable meats and eggs, A2 dairy products, artisan breads, and fresh local seafood.
The historic Lewis Farmers Market is in the park every Saturday from 8 to noon and at Crooked Hammock Brewery every Wednesday from 8 to 11:30 a.m.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Legzercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Legzercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Legzercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
Wow, it's so much bigger than you realize. East Coast Tile and Flooring has the largest selection of tile from around the world. And they are the only Dow Tile Premier showroom on the shore. They have the knowledge and expertise to assist architects, designers, and homeowners, and are fully licensed to take on any job from start to finish. Family owned and operated since 1947. Call East Coast Tile and Flooring today for a design consultation.
All right, time is now 5:48 on your Tuesday. We are going to take a live look right now outside at Salisbury. Sun is up, Bob. It looks a little hazy there, though, in Salisbury.
A little hazy, yeah. Paige, we're looking at the 3 H's today. Hazy, hot, and humid. It's going to be a scorcher out there. Excessive heat warning for this area, shaded in purple away from the coast, Sussex County, also eastern parts of Maryland, and right along the immediate coast. That is where we have a heat advisory through Wednesday evening. On into Maryland, Salisbury, close to the coast for you, there's a heat advisory, and then farther to the north, an excessive heat warning for a good chunk of the eastern shore. Bottom line is, away from the coast, we're looking at very, very hot conditions, triple-digit heat indices there, and even along the coast as well in some places. Temperatures now already very warm into the 70s and lower 80s, 80 in Millsboro, 78 in Redden, 80 in Seaford right now, and we're looking at, feels like temperatures already into the upper 80s in Millsboro and Lewis, 88 Bethany Beach, and 83 is what it feels like in Salisbury. There is a bit of a southwest breeze, but that's going to be a very hot breeze for today as we're looking at mainly clear skies right now. Really no relief from the heat until we see a trough back to the west start to bring in a better storm chance, and I think that will happen later Wednesday. We're seeing some of those bigger storms across the Midwest now. The Futurecast has us warming up into the upper 80s by mid-morning. By noon, we're into the mid-90s, and even some 90s showing up along the coast. So it's going to be a scorcher by mid-afternoon, 96 to around 99 degrees inland areas. Very hot this evening. If you're out and about, whatever you're doing, make sure you use extra caution because it only slowly falls from the 90s into the 80s as we go through the overnight, and it probably does not drop out of the lower 80s tomorrow morning. As we're looking at another scorcher for tomorrow. Probably not as hot as today, but we're still looking at mid-90s into the afternoon, 80s and 90s along the coast. And then eventually we start to see showers and storms building in Wednesday evening. This will essentially put an end to our heat wave with heavier rain, maybe damaging winds as well. That's the biggest risk as we see this front moving in. Maybe some more beneficial rain as we go through the evening hours, as it does cool us back into the 70s as we go into Thursday morning. And then Thursday will be a much cooler day, well, mid-80s compared to mid-90s, and we're starting the day in the 70s and 80s. Feels like temperatures today around 105 to 110 inland areas, even some places right along the immediate coast. You're feeling like triple digits, and the same for Wednesday, triple digits along the coast and inland, maybe as high as 113 here. And then we'll see that cold front bringing in that cooler air, and that threat for severe weather to level 1 and level 2 risk across the area. It looks like the higher risk for some of that severe weather damaging winds from Milford to Seaford and the eastern shore, slightly lower risk to the south and east. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. Super hot today, 98, then 95 Wednesday. Code red for the heat and the storms later in the day. 85 on Thursday with storms, and then we're into the mid-80s as we go into the weekend. So we put an end to the heat wave for a while. Dry Saturday, storm Sunday, and those storms linger into Monday.
So much happening today. A road closure in Salisbury you should be made aware of. We're going to show you that area right now on your screen. Salisbury Department of Infrastructure and Development will be working on East Lotus Street. City says road work there begins at 8 a.m. and barring any delays, street should be open by 4 p.m.
Deadline approaching in Bethany Beach of an upcoming election. Interested locals can file as a town council candidate until July 24th. You must submit a written application in the town manager's office no later than 4:30 p.m. that day, and the town election will be held on September 7th.
Still ahead this morning on CoastTV News Today, non-surgical pelvic floor fixes. How to relieve pain and pressure in the area after pregnancy may have weakened the muscles there. We'll be right back.
Turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. Plus, get free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-316-1548 or go online to buybionic360.com. Call now.
This summer, Lewis is your go-to destination for live music. Rocking the Docks brings you the best tunes from soulful sounds to classic vibes. There's something for everyone. Plus, enjoy food trucks and explore our vendor market at every show. Don't miss out on beautiful sunsets and great tunes. And don't forget to bring the whole family. Kids 12 and under are free. Rocking the Docks, your summer soundtrack. Tickets on sale now at rockingthedockslewis.com.
Have you visited Tyndall's Casual Furniture this season?
Come see us!
Why shop online when you can explore Delmarva's exclusive Polywood dealer in person? See the finishes, feel the fabrics, and even sit on the furniture. From polymer to aluminum, wicker and epay, bring home the perfect blend of quality and design with Tyndall's. Crafted to enhance your lifestyle. All of our furniture comes with professional assembly, and take advantage of our in-house white glove delivery. Tyndall's Casual Furniture, Delmarva's outdoor furniture experts.
Transform your bath today with Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Call now and ask about our Refresh for Less promotion and get a new bath or shower for only $69.95. Plus, get 20% off all upgrades.
Imagine stepping into a beautifully renovated bath, designed by our experts and installed by our certified professionals.
This offer is hotter than a sauna and won't last forever. So don't miss out on our Refresh for Less promotion for just $69.95 with 20% off all upgrades.
Before you sign, keep Baths by Spicer Brothers in mind, because you deserve the best.
Wake up smarter.
I've got the 5 things you need to know to start your day.
Take a trip down memory lane.
Remember in elementary school when you would make those boxes?
Find your next furry friend.
His name is Peppy, and he's a 12-year-old Chihuahua mix.
And discover your inner clumsy.
That's a sad sign that you're getting old when you just take a little tumble like that.
Make your mornings brilliant. Join April weekdays from 6 to 10 on 107.1 The Duck. Sponsored by Acme Ceramic Tile Company.
All right, not a topic we all like to talk about, the discomfort and urinary leakage it may be experienced after pregnancy due to a weakened pelvic floor.
Yeah, Amanda Gaither shows us ways to improve symptoms without turning to surgery.
4 weeks after giving birth, Nicole Lukens started feeling pressure in her pelvic area.
It just felt very heavy. And so knowing my body, I knew something wasn't right.
Lukens was diagnosed with a prolapsed bladder, the result of a weakened pelvic floor causing discomfort and leakage. One option was surgery.
I'm thinking that's just not going to happen because surgery means I can't lift my baby afterwards. It's just not going to happen.
Instead, Lukens' doctor referred her to pelvic floor therapy aimed at alleviating symptoms by strengthening those muscles.
This myth that once we've had kids or as we get older, we're just going to start leaking and we'll just lose control of these muscles and it's just gone. Is sad, and it's definitely not true.
Tessa Ladd, an occupational therapist with Orlando Health, helped to teach Lukens new ways to breathe and move to support the pelvic floor.
With consistency, with education, with training, you really can regain control of these muscles, and you really can start to learn how to coordinate them and use them so that you don't have pain or leaking or any risk for prolapse.
A lot of it was yoga moves and how I was breathing and stretching.
Now about 9 months postpartum, and Lukens says her doctor is amazed with her progress.
I don't really have very many symptoms at all, but it is something I work on daily.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
It's now 5:57. It's time now to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet, it's near and dear to the CoastTV News family. Our newest First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono shared his picture of his nephew Loki, a.k.a. Mr. Chumps. What a beautiful picture, Paige. I think we're going to have to ask Chris about Loki.
And why they call him Mr. Chumps.
A lot of questions.
We have a lot. He'll be back tomorrow, so we'll ask him then. We do want to see all your pets on Delmarva, though. Send us photos. Tell us what makes them so special.
Scan the QR code at the top of your screen to submit your furry friend to CoastTV News. Then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
All right, time is now 5:58. We're going to take a quick look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, a day that is probably too hot for the hot tub. Had to do it, Bob.
Yeah, had to do it. Yeah, no, it is one of those days. It's going to be a scorcher, guys. Best to stay in air conditioning if you can. Drink a lot of water. Warming up very quickly through the 80s this morning. Lots of sunshine and mid-90s later on. I'm going a high right around 98 and feels like temperatures may be as high as 110 inland areas. And even along the coast, you can see some areas in the triple digits. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 98 today, Wednesday. It is a code red for the heat and storms storms later on. 95 the high, and could see some damaging wind with some storms as we go into the evening. Then it cools down. Mid-80s at the end of the week into the weekend. Some storm chances Thursday and then again on Sunday.
Coming up in our next hour, DE at GOP convention, the first day getting representation. That intense feelings after the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. That's when CoastTV News Today continues.